now. Whoops.
Greg fell.
Well, to be fair, he is so. Oh.
We're living on a disk, floating through space with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm Fight the Flat Earth and welcome back to the channel that ties stupidity to the train tracks of knowledge. And welcome back to Sleeping Warrior Week. Day 3 has been, so far, there is 13 videos in the playlist for Sleeping Warrior Week. And today we are doing the roasts of Anthony Riley because, you know what, there's so much stupid, I thought it only fair to share it with some of my fellow debunkers. So tonight with me we have Planar Walk. How are you doing, sir?
Ahoy hoy, I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. It must be pretty damn early for you there, right?
Yeah, it is pretty early. I got up about 20 minutes ago, and then I had
Stupid
problems
globe.
with trying to connect to the school, and it didn't help that I had so many tabs open. So
Yeah, the high IQ research to do that for you. We have the wonderful Conspiracy Catz. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, brilliant, mate. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm not bad. I'm having a great laugh with Sleeping Warrior Week. You were one of the first people that I saw have back and forward with Sleeping Warrior. If I was to give you 3 words, how would you describe him?
Oh, what a good question. What a good question. Confrontational, wrong, and unique.
Unique, I like that one. And we have the voice that should be sold for like millions. Shawn Hufford, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Ahoy hoy lake. How you doing?
Not bad. You're also one of the main sources of Riley Entertainment. How many videos is there in your Sleeping Warrior playlist?
I haven't updated it. Last check it was 55, but I've done 2 or 3 since then.
Wow. So there's nearly 60 videos of stupidity from Riley on Shawn Hufford's channel. The links to all these guys' channels are in the description, so make sure you check them out. And of course, we have the plastic man himself, Team Skeptic. How you doing, bud?
What the fuck is up, bro?
Having a nice week of destroying Anthony Riley.
I see this.
Yeah.
I see this. I'm enjoying it as well.
So, what's
I really
your
liked
thoughts on
Planar
Riley?
Walk's video,
Like,
Planar Walk's video. I liked his video. It was a really good one.
yeah, the
Which
one.
one?
Well, I watched the one earlier, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, hide from
The
that
independent
stupidity.
variable one.
Yeah.
oh, that one. Yeah,
I thought it
I've
was
heard
funny.
that. Yeah, I heard them speaking about it on Nathan Oakley's channel for a little bit.
Right, so the plan for this evening is for each of us to have a go at roasting Riley. We're going to let Conspiracy Catz go first because he's an actual proper teacher with a real job and has to get up at stupid times in the morning. Conspiracy Catz doesn't read emails properly, so rather than doing an actual roast, he is going to do a video for you guys. But first, I'm going to let Conspiracy Catz just introduce his video and himself. So if you bear me 1 second, I will get him on the screen for you. There we go. There's Conspiracy Catz.
Oh, look at that potato face. Look at that. Is this it? Is this the introduction now?
Yeah.
Right. Well, thing is, Conspiracy Catz, I cannot roast Anthony Riley at all. And the reason I can't roast Anthony Riley is because without Anthony Riley, there would be no Conspiracy Catz. For those people that don't know, Anthony Riley, the staunch flat earther, is responsible for Conspiracy Catz. In fact, so responsible, he asked me to start Conspiracy Catz. That is how responsible for Conspiracy Catz he is. When he wanted me to debunk Peter and Pete's claim about water not being a compound. So without Anthony Riley, Lancashire would not have its #2 globe Earth prover. By the way, do you know who Lancashire's #1 globe Earth prover is?
Who's that?
Ranty Flat Earth, he's not far from me, about 45 minutes. But without Anthony Riley, there wouldn't be any Conspiracy Catz whatsoever. So Conspiracy Catz can't ridicule him. However, Baldy Catz is a different story. And
I'm not that dick.
Absolutely. So this is Baldy Catz roast of Anthony Riley. I can't, I can't say enough nice things about him, but here comes Baldy Catz.
Okay, let me just get this queued up for people and get it on the screen so you guys can see it.
Seamless, that, isn't it? Seamlessly.
Yeah. And here we go. Enjoy. Ah, they're saying there's no sound. Why is there no sound? Goodness me, I thought I'd got this all set up. Sorry guys, 1 second. Craig fail once again.
Well,
Yeah, that's the second thing you did wrong this the stream.
well, the first one was he had the stream.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to start that again, guys, because I've just
Well,
totally
that
ruined
makes
that.
it the third.
All right. Yeah, that's working now. They can hear it. Let me start that again. Sorry. Craig fail. Sorry. Here we go.
Hello, unfortunately, I can't stop. I'm just about to put Discovery Science on. I hope there's something interesting on.
This is an egg.
Dumb fuck of the year.
Easy, Gav. He was actually right that time. That was an egg. Wasn't it, Del?
No.
Anyway, just carry on.
And I can make this egg move all by itself.
As if by magic.
Absolutely, boys. It's going to be good, is this?
I can observe my phenomena to be that some objects appear to float. Some objects appear to sink. Some objects will suspend in different mediums.
Excellent. So, Sleeping Warrior, now we've figured out that you can observe things that we teach 4-year-olds in primary school. How badly are you going to screw this up?
Conspiracy Catz.
What?
You're a bitch.
Brilliant. Get on with it.
My hypothesis is if I change the medium's density, the egg will move. Newton said, if an object moves, a force is present.
Groundbreaking stuff. Excellent. Nathan, you excited?
Massive growth.
Dirty get. Carry on.
This is tap water, regular tap water. That is the same tap water, but it's been preloaded to save some time with some salt from this to give it a density variation.
Now, we all know that Sleeping Warrior has no idea what density actually means. And what happens next is hilarious.
Okay, that's coming in at 212 parts per million tap water. Don't know what that means, it's just a number.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Taking a piece of equipment when you clearly don't know what it does. Taking a measurement with that piece of equipment when you clearly don't know what the measurement means. And then doing it again.
This one is saying this is 302 parts per million. Again, if you want to zoom into that, you can have a look. Okay.
So now we know that Sleeping Warrior has taken 2 different measurements and by his own admission has no idea what either one of them mean. It's brilliant. Sleeping Warrior, are you enjoying the show so far?
The best show ever.
Brilliant. Then let's continue.
So what we're going to do is we're going to see what happens when this egg is dropped into here. It sinks.
Oh my god.
Totally impossible. Like,
I know. I want to see that again. Del, do you think you can do it again?
I don't think he can.
Oh, well, it was quite technical, wasn't it? Carry on.
Now we'll see what happens when we put it into a more dense medium.
This is unbelievable. I hope you're listening to him, Fred.
Help me understand, oh wise ones.
My independent variable is the medium. That egg moves, I've caused it. We know the parts per million is about 300.
Yeah, he knows the parts per million is about 300, but he has no idea what that means.
All we need to do is pour some of this in. Hey, what do you know? The egg's immediately moved.
totally impossible. Like,
as if by magic.
Well, I am blown away.
Amazing. Didn't have to wait for that, did we? So, what's the explanation?
Well, I'm not really sure why you don't know what the explanation is. What do you think?
If you assert that gravity in any way caused something in this experiment, that means you are adding a secondary cause. I am staying within scientific method, and I am using my cause and my effect relationship, and I am demonstrating it with using this. I've changed the density of the medium, and the egg has displaced.
dumb fuck of the year, dumb fuck of the year, dumb fuck of the year,
Dumb fuck of the year.
Right, Twinkle Toes, let's put this on to bed. If I was to take your logic and say that the independent variable is the whole cause of what's going on in any single investigation, well, how about this? How about I do an investigation where I take a plant and I see how well the plant grows if I change the light intensity? And then I'll see that the plant grows better when the light is more intense. However, am I going to argue that the light is somehow magic and just by touching the plant makes it grow because that's what I'm manipulating? Or do I understand that the light actually affects the plant via some sort of complex mechanism? And if I do understand that, then maybe we might discover stuff like photosynthesis. Maybe I can do an investigation where I put my foot on the accelerator of a car, right? It's a gas pedal if you're in America. And I put my foot down on that and the car goes faster. Do I then assume that my foot is somehow, or the pedal is somehow magically the cause of the car going faster? Or do I think, there must be some sort of complex mechanism linking the foot and the accelerator pedal to the speed of the car? And we might call that, I don't know, an engine.
Dumb fuck of the year.
Right, Gav, calm down. You see, what you've done here is you've pinned your level of understanding at the level that maybe a 3 or 4 year old child would have. You've got to ask why. Right? Why does the light make the plant grow? Why does putting my foot on the accelerator make the car go faster? Why does adding the salt in the water cause the egg to change its position?
I don't know why.
I wasn't asking you. You see, Anthony, what you've done here is shown that there is a link between the density of the medium and the equilibrium position of the egg. Great. But now pull your big pants on, grow up and start asking serious questions. You are embarrassing yourself with this nonsense. Genuinely. Right? It's ridiculous. Grow up.
Well, there we go. Catz, that was very good. I can't believe that he just puts on what is clearly actually a butcher's smock and some geek glasses and thinks he's doing science.
The thing is with Anthony though, he knows. Like, I'm absolutely convinced he knows what he's doing. All he wants to do is stir the pot, and he wants the banter and the debate, and that's fine. But the problem is, like, you'll know, and everyone here will know, we'll get posts from people parroting his bullshit, saying, we get messages talking about independent variables and scientific method. People listen to him that aren't as intelligent as probably he is, and they just swallow his nonsense left, right, and centre. And he's got to be more responsible, in my opinion. See, I don't supposed to be a roast, but in my opinion, he's got to be more responsible with the crap he puts out there.
Well, so do you really think he doesn't believe the Earth is flat?
Well, he says it himself. He's quite open himself. He's said many times, even on like Nathan's show, that he believes the Earth could be a ball, just a ball of a slightly different radius than the current model. So he said that himself.
To be fair, he's also said on the Nathan show that where they were trying to figure out something, I can't remember what it was, but he kept on going back to the phrase, it's either a ball or a disc with an ice wall. And Nathan kept jumping him for proposing a model. And he didn't understand by saying it's either a ball or a disc with an ice ring that he's proposing a model. He just never could make that connection. So, yes, he says whatever is controversial at the time.
I think so. That's what he wants. He wants that argument. He wants to get under people's skin, and whether he's right or wrong, he wants to try and force people to prove their point to him. Because it's so difficult. I could say I'm holding a pen in my hand now, but I could say to you, prove to me it's not a bar of chocolate, and there's no way you can, even though you can all see me holding a pen. And he likes stringing it out, but it's the people who swallow his nonsense that he's got to be more responsible for. He's a grown man now, and he needs to shape up.
See, he confuses me slightly because he doesn't monetize his channel, and from an outside perspective, he almost seems like a relatively intelligent person. I mean, listening to some of the shit he comes out with, he's obviously not. But he really is a confusing flat earther to me. I don't think he's a Poe or anything. I genuinely think that he thinks everyone's lying to him. But some of the shit he puts out, he has to realise that is completely wrong. And like when he gets called up on simple stuff like Hoy Lake, he can't admit that he's wrong. Shawn, has he ever admitted he's wrong to you?
No.
No. And how many times has he been
not
wrong?
About any of his claims. Not about any of his claims. He says he's been wrong about calling somebody a liar here, but he's about any of his actual positive claims, he's never admitted to being wrong, even after being shown to be wrong.
Yeah.
About
Planar.
eclipses, Riley.
Yeah, eclipses. Oh my goodness. See the video we put out recently about the eclipse. This is what a solar eclipse should look like. I had to watch that 4 or 5 times to actually see if that amount of stupid was put into one video. Why would the sun just stop and then change direction? The moon, sorry,
But see, you're actually missing the point of what he said eclipses should look like. It had nothing to do with the movement. It had to do with the shadow going all the way to the edge of the moon. The atmospheric shadow should have gone all the way to the edge of the moon, according to Anthony. Everybody keeps missing that point, and it irritates me.
Well, yeah, but still, you can't do a video called "This is what a solar eclipse should look like" and then have the moon just literally randomly change position.
But the point of the video was how the shadow was actually going all the way to the moon, like the moon is in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I suppose. Right, so that was Conspiracy Catz, roast of Anthony Riley. We still have myself, Team Skeptic, Shawn Hufford, and Planarwalk to go. Who would you guys like up next? I honestly don't mind, but it's up to you guys who goes next. Let me get my face on there.
Well, just to be fair, Bally Cats was the only one that actually brought a video.
Yeah, he was the only one that actually brought a video.
He's also the only person who's got his camera on by the looks of it. I mean, I suppose you have your camera on.
I'll turn it off.
Well, that was just so well he's presenting. You can put your camera on whilst you're presenting yours if you like, Planarwalk. But let's have a look at the chat. We've got Team and Planarwalk, Skeptic. Well, I think I'm seeing more Planarwalks than anything there, to be honest. The Huff, Team, Shawn, Planarwalk. I think the chat wants the little New Zealand boy up next. So Planarwalk, over to you, buddy. Do you want to put your camera on and I'll present you?
No, I'm not going to put my camera on, and there's a reason for that, because I actually don't have any pants on right now. Yeah, so part of the reason for that is I actually went to the gym yesterday, and that was one intense workout, and I actually would recommend that Anthony Riley do something like go to the gym, because I think that it's clear that by now Flat Earth really isn't working out for him,
Yeah, I would agree. He doesn't do much working out at all, by the looks of it.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
But yeah, start your roast.
All right, where do I start? That's a difficult one. I suppose I should start with. Yes, I should start with the sort of thing that I was going on about with my pants, because it allows me to sort of let my rooster, so to speak, get some air. And apparently Riley has shot his off. So
he carries around a nice little box.
That wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, Riley's rooster. I mean, is anyone else stunned by the amount of stupidity that went into that? I actually messaged him to see if that's what he's meant on Discord, and surprisingly enough, he actually confirmed what he said, what he was meaning. Because, I said, I sent him the timestamps because he was saying, where did I say that the rooster wasn't the independent variable? And so I sent him the timestamp, and he says, I see what the issue is. My words are right. Your independent variable is your presumed cause in an experiment. However, the rooster being shot did not stop the sun rising. When you make your hypothesis and your null hypothesis, you will prove one of them to be correct. Now, the important bit, your independent variable is your presumed cause. It doesn't mean it is the cause. It's what you think is the cause. So we thought the rooster was causing sunrise. So at this point, the rooster is the independent variable. However, we blow its head off and the sun still rose. We therefore failed to prove our hypothesis, but we did prove our null. The null was that the rooster was not the cause of sunrise. Once you prove your null, the rooster is no longer your independent variable. You proved it does not cause sunrise. Your independent variable, post-experiment, cannot be a presumed cause if you have just proven that it was not the case. The the effect of proving your null is that the rooster loses its independent variable status as you know it doesn't cause the sun to rise. And that was his explanation.
What?
So yeah, it appears that, you know, if you prove that, or if you show that there is no link between your independent variable and your dependent variable, your independent variable is no longer your independent variable.
Correct. He doesn't get that?
He doesn't get anything.
Well, that's what he's claiming.
Oh.
I mean, I'm broken. Honestly, the stupidity does burn.
Yeah, it's... Although I do like his wording of, however, if we blow the head off the rooster, or blow its head off.
Why
I do like...
What's he got against roosters?
Off the rooster this morning. It wasn't pleasant. Don't bring your UV camera into my room. Sorry.
Yeah. I just saw Charisma in the chat saying, show your Pornhub. It's easy to find my Pornhub account. However, I don't have any videos on there, but, you know, I could probably put my Scotty Storm impressions up. I'll show that I have links.
I think everyone should just upload all their videos to Pornhub accounts.
I mean, that could work. I've seen some Minecraft Let's Plays on Pornhub, so...
Oh, so anything else to say about Riley?
There was one thing, because today's video that I put up was about Jupiter. So, you know, Jupiter... Riley was going... I will admit that in the debate, I was actually wrong. I was actually presenting an image that was a simulation, not an actual image. You know, and Riley didn't actually pick up on that. What he picked up on was that the shadow of Io was the same size as Io. He said that it should be smaller, although I suppose Riley probably does have experience in things that should be smaller. I mean, why do you think he shot the head off his rooster? So
I had follow-ups, but they were below the belt.
So, you know, I was... But yeah, it's one of the things that he said that he'd do the calculations for, but he never did them. So I went ahead and modeled it in Blender. So yeah, I suppose that's all I have to say.
Well, Riley just really doesn't get anything, does he? But like honestly, what has he got against roosters, guys?
Well, he likes to blow roosters away, and he likes to snap the wand. So make up your own mind.
Someone in chat said he snapped the rooster.
He could have used a chicken instead of a rooster and choked it.
Oh God, the image of Riley choking a chicken is not something I want ever.
Blowing
yeah,
roosters,
I don't think anyone wants.
Blowing roosters,
I mean,
choking chickens, snapping wands. What's next?
Yeah.
Could have had a bishop and bashed him.
I mean, I went onto his channel earlier today to just check to see if he's uploaded any new videos, and I mean that was the moment that my piece or Google Chrome decided to stop working. Now, it wasn't so bad that Google Chrome decided to stop working when I went on his channel. It's that his Google Chrome decided to stop working and also play his video. I had to sit through a minute of his video before Google Chrome could work.
That's bad. I mean, it's Sleeping Warrior week, and I've watched so much Sleeping Warrior lately. I'm pretty sure I've lost several hundred IQ points, but I'm still smarter than any flat earther.
Well,
right.
As I said the other day.
I'll just say that be glad this isn't a roast of each other.
Well, if you want to roast each other, you can go ahead and do that. But thank you, Planar Walk. Yes, Riley's rooster. I think that needs to be a T-shirt, pretty much.
I've actually gotten requests for t-shirts. Like I've gotten requests for Riley's Rooster being a t-shirt, and I've also gotten a request for, or not really a request, but someone said I need to get a t-shirt with time effects shit on it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go last. So guys in chat, you now have the choice between Team Skeptic and Shawn Hufford. Who would you like to go next, the Huff or Plastic Man? Let's see what the chat say.
Yeah. The Dinger or the Dinger Slayer?
The Dinger or the Dinger Slayer, indeed. Let's see who we get in the chat. Skeptic.
I think people want Cream Skeptic to go next.
Cream Skeptic. Team Skeptic, Shawn, Huff. Oh, it's equal right now. Come on, guys. Hashtag Plastic Man.
it's going back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty equal. I think I'm seeing a few more teams there. Yeah, I think Team's just about got it there. Oh wait, no, the Huff's coming in.
I say flip a coin at this point.
I'm gonna have to flip a coin because that is.
No. I say let Shawn Hufford go.
Oh,
He's
are you happy with that, Shawn?
I have. He's been destroying the scene way before I even heard of the flat Earth. He deserves to go first.
Okay, all right, Shawn. I'm gonna pass it over to you. Roast away.
Okay. And no, I will not be on camera. Your channel's been porn bombed enough. All right. Well, there is no good starting place with Riley because he's got a almost 3-year backlog of absolute stupid. And I was the guy that coined the phrase of giving him the moniker of Anthony Liley, and this was for a very specific reason. He found a video somewhere up in the UK from like 12 miles looking at a lighthouse called the Needle, I think it was. And the guy who he got this video from is a flat earther. And he actually gave pretty good measurements on everything that he had. You know, he had the 12-point-something mile distance. He had a 12-foot observer height. And Anthony decided to arbitrarily change the observer height to 2 feet so he can actually ridicule the results that he would find in the Earth curve calculator. This was before he found the metabump calculator anyway. But he put the observer height at 2 feet. And this is back when we were actually on decent talking terms. And I tried to correct him. Like, your original guy that you got the video from says it's 12 feet. He's like, well, and his thing at this point was observer height didn't matter. And I told him to redo the calculations with a 12-foot observer height, and he noticed that it didn't fit with his stuff. And he says, well, I don't care what he says. I know it was at 2 feet because you can see that the water is right at the bottom of the frame. Oh, my God. And that's when I got Sly involved. We actually started talking about finding out exactly where this guy took the picture from. It ended up that he took a picture from on top of a pier with a 24-foot observer height after you account for the tripod, because he had the railing in frame that is only on the pier. Anthony still stuck to his guns with a 2-foot observer height. He even tried to change it to 0 at one point because he said observer height didn't matter. But, we saw how that worked out. And it doesn't matter how much you show him. He actually went to the guy's channel and asked him observer height. The guy verified that it was 12, even though he was lying because he had a narrative of his own to spin. Anthony just took it one step further and lied even more to try to get the results in his favor. So this is where Anthony Riley got the nickname Anthony Liley. And this is almost 3 years ago. And he still is up to this day. He is at this point, in my eyes, pathological. He can't tell this. He cannot tell the truth. So that's me.
Thank you. So Liley cannot tell the truth, and this came out recently with the tags thing, didn't it? The tags on the channel. So Liley he's changed it now, but he had his channel tags. He had Red's Rhetoric, Shawn Hufford, Slice Barcane, just constantly in the tags of all his videos, and he was pointed this out, and he literally said, "No, I don't." And what was Sly's response?
He made a silent video, which he was ordered to make an actual talking video of it. He showed that his channel, his entire channel, not just his videos, his main channel page was tagged with people that weren't involved with his channel.
Yeah, So he was like literally said, look, you've got these channel tags in, and he's like, no, I don't. I only put it in the videos that have them in, and he stuck to his guns. But then all of a sudden the channel tags changed. So yeah, like I've said, guys, Shawn Hufford actually has a playlist of what was it? Close to 60 videos now of Riley. So I'll put the link to Shawn Hufford's channel is in the description. Now we've got two more roasts to go. We've got Team Skeptic and myself. I'm going to let Team go next, and then I'm going to go. And after that, we're going to do a bit of a live debunk of one of Riley's recent stupidities. But for now, I'm going to pass it over. What was that?
I said it sounds fun.
Yeah. I'm going to pass it over to #PlasticMan. Team, roast away.
Yes. The Meat Skeptic, #Plastic Man, the myth, the legend, the dinger himself. Team Skeptic is here, guys. And I have my dinger. Now, let me tell you guys something. And I'm not talking to the panel members here. Most of them already know this. I'm talking mostly to the chat. I was under the impression this was a roast, not just of Anthony Riley, but of the audience or of the panel members as well. So I'm going to skip my Anthony roast Riley for right now, and I'm just going to roast the panel members just so we can change it up a little bit. Now, some of these panel members have heard some of this. If you're not being addressed, I would prefer that you mute your mic. So we'll go one person at a time, starting with Shawn Hufford. Feel free, Shawn, to unmute your mic and respond if you feel absolutely necessary.
I just want to say before you get going, Geo Striver was supposed to be here as well, and it was his idea to also roast each other. However, he got ill. I think he celebrated too much after getting his master's degree. That's what's happened. So Geo Striver actually suggested we all roast each other, and now isn't here. So congrats to Geo Striver, you dick.
So because Geo Striver's a dick and didn't show up to this roast, I guess I'll start with him. So Geo Striver, this message is for you, bud. Geo Striver, also known as the Chemical Assassin, one of the few active members in our community that actually has a master's degree in a STEM field. Now, Geo, if you'll only get 11 more, you can be as smart as JM Truth TV. Now, well, Geo Striver originally was going to follow Planar Walk, so I'll go ahead and say this joke because it's really funny, but it's not going to make sense until I do Planar. So you'll go next, Planar. But Geo Striver would follow Planar Walk because he's actually the polar opposite of Planar Walk, where Planar Walk sounds like a man but looks like a girl. Geo looks like a boy but sounds like Hitler. I remember the first time I saw Geo on camera. It was completely unexpected. As one moment there was nothing but this spinning avatar, and the next moment there was this Geo eating some kind of German Cheetos. It was basically the optical equivalent of taping my eyes open and watching two oily manatees getting it on with each other. I didn't facepalm. I faced desk to try to get that image out of my head. But you have haunted my dreams ever since then, Geo, because you are a fucking idiot. Geo, before I move on to my next person, I just want to tell you that congratulations on your master's degree. I hope you get your PhD sometime soon. You know I'm here for you if you ever need anything, but I'm sure I'll be needing stuff from you before you'll be needing it from me because I don't have a master's in chemistry. Congratulations. I love you, bro. Now, we'll move on to Planar Walk. We'll do you after Planar, Shawn. So Planar Walk, you got your mic ready?
Yeah, I got my mic ready. Yes.
Oh, Planar Walk, Planar Walk, Planar Walk. Every time I watch a Planar Walk video, I think to myself, damn, that chick has a deep voice. You know, Planar Walk, if you stopped eating soy and started eating steak, your body would grow into that voice. Planar Walk is not actually the smartest debunker out there, though. I once saw him talking shit about drunk white chicks in one of his videos. Now, Planar, I left you a comment to remind you that it's not cool to talk shit about people and then steal their haircut. Not a lot of people know this about Planar Walk, but that tinfoil hat he wears also doubles as his enema bowl and his brown wine chalice. Planarwalk is actually one of my favorite content creators to watch on the internet. Anytime I'm feeling down about life or kicked in the stomach by reality, I turn on a Planarwalk video and think to myself, at least I'm not Planarwalk. Have you seen the small amount of subs that Planarwalk has? Because it's hard to sub to someone who looks like they should be playing with slime, but sounds like they should be doing play-by-play at a cockfight. Planarwalk, you are a fucking idiot.
Well,
now, Planar,
funnily-
I love you, man. You're a great content creator, and it's a pleasure to do business or do work with you in the past, the present, right now, and moving forward.
Yeah. One thing I did want to say is that, funnily enough, in not my last video, but the video before it, I even referred to myself as a fucking idiot a couple of times. So, because I forgot to take the handbrake off on the car.
All right. So Shawn Hufford, mute yourself, Planar. Shawn Hufford, you there, bud?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Shawn, what can I say about you that hasn't already been said before? When I started my channel out at the beginning, you were one of the first 5 members of this debunking community that reached out to help me grow my channel. I really could have used someone who was more relevant. At one point, you actually had the best hair on YouTube. Unfortunately, you cut it recently, and now you look like an anemic version of Gigantor. By the way, check out my new video if you haven't already. Shawn Hufford, you will be timeless, sir. And I have proof of this. My idiot thing or ding meme or whatever you guys want to call it has made its way around the debunking community. And without, bragging about myself, because I never do shit like that, ever. I'm total fucking humble guy here, completely. I would have to say that meme is pretty damn successful. And you dared me to throw my dinger in a recent live stream, and god damn it, I did it, and it broke. So moving forward, Shawn, you shall traverse the annals of history as the first and original dinger slayer. So let me leave you with this, Shawn. You are a fucking idiot.
Well,
I love you, Shawn.
I love you too, Skeptic, but it's not hard to love a man who's so insecure about his own manhood he picks an avatar that has no penis.
Yes, I do. I will continue to say this, man. You're the debunker in this group. You, Sly, Reds, even Geo. Y'all are the debunkers. We're the comedians. We have fun with these people because they're easy targets and they're fun to make fun about. And me and people like Conspiracy Catz, we try to throw science in there so people will learn something. But we have a good time making fun of these people. You guys did everything we're doing right now. You've done it for years, and we only exist because you exist. So thank you for setting the standard and debunking it first.
Well, I may have been one of the early people. There's people who were way ahead of me, like Mortimer and Cool Hard Logic, people like that. Our lost members who are no longer in the community, like Marai Zeller. We miss him terribly. He's still around. He's just not on YouTube anymore. But you guys do it better. So props to that.
Yeah, we just have fun doing it. It's just about making everybody laugh right now. All right, so mute yourself, Shawn, so I can get on to the big guy here. The big guy, air quotes right now, guys. Big guy. Conspiracy Catz. You there, bud?
I'm here, mate.
All right, great. Because this brings me to you. And, you've already heard this, so you might not find it as funny or as insulting as you did originally, but I'm going to try to be just as, have just as much gusto with it, okay? This brings me to you there, though, buddy, because guess what? You're my favorite pseudoscientist. For those of you that don't know out there, Conspiracy Catz is hardly a cat. A cat has 9 lives, and this kitten right here has only 3. That's because I took 6 from him playing FIFA. Which, hey, let me tell you something, guys. We raised $250. That was fucking great. Thank you guys for all your support to go to charity. So thank you guys. And I really hope Simon Dan doesn't hear this, because he took a lot more than 6 lives from me playing FIFA, and it's not fair. He's a cheater. But Conspiracy Catz is actually one of the first globe earthers I ever debunked. Yes, I debunked globe earthers, guys. He claims his bald features on his head are completely all natural. But I showed the world in a video live that I have since deleted that he isn't really bald, but he's just sponsored by Nair, the world famous hair removal cream company. The only question left to ask Mr. Conspiracy Catz is, does the carpet match the drapes? For all the kids out there listening, don't put Nair on your balls. But yeah, right now I'm actually upset with Conspiracy Catz right now. Ever since his meteoric rise to fame, the cost of purchasing subs has increased. Thanks for driving the price up, Conspiracy Catz, because you are a fucking idiot. I love you, sir. You're one of my favorite people to watch, and I love you absolutely to the deepest part of my bones in my body.
I think I'm gonna cry now.
Don't cry. Come on, man.
Oh, mate, no.
I was doing that when I was playing my song about my son, because that's still a hard song to listen to. But yeah, man, it's been fucking, dude. I'm fucking feel proud to even know you, to even be on panels like this with you, to talk when we've talked on the side. You know, we really need to do more work moving forward, because I think our comedy is something to brag about, to be honest with you. I love doing my videos, and I love watching yours. And there's so much that could be, so many flat earthers that could be so butthurt by us right now.
So, well, Anthony Riley for one. Let's
yes,
get him, mate. That was good. That was good, pal.
Fight the flat Earth. You're last, bro.
I'm here.
All right, mute yourself, Conspiracy Catz, before I kick you in the tail. As the host of this soiree, I felt the need to make you the last of my targets. Plus, I think it's only right, since your channel is basically a bootleg of mine. But you know, imitation is the best form of flattery. And I'll tell you something, man. You actually have inspired me. You've inspired me, because ever since I knew you were coming to Dallas for the Flat Earth Convention, I've started working out. Like, I'm getting buff right now, man. And believe me, it's not to impress you. It's because I'm gonna need all those extra muscles to push your fat ass around town in your wheelchair. You confused us all for a bit. For a time there, you were rocking the Conspiracy Catz look fucking super hard. Short, chunky, and bald. And yeah, that was a shot at Catz too. All right, sorry guys. And for the last comment, Greg, I'm convinced that getting to know you personally has been one of the worst things that could ever happen to any human ever. So thank you, though, because you are absolute proof that either God doesn't exist or that he has a fucked up sense of humor. Because you are a fucking idiot. I love every one of you guys. I love you all. Rage ding!
Oh, there's another dinger.
Died.
You just made yourself rage ding.
I love every one of you guys.
We love you too, and thanks for that. Do you have anything to say about Riley, though?
Oh man, what? I mean, you guys have already said everything. Everything I've wanted to say. Yeah, the dude's a dipshit. He has absolutely no fucking clue what the independent variable is, nor does he understand how it applies to science. I mean, Catz nailed it. Okay, yes, you're right. You know what? Actually, what he did could be considered some actual good science, up until the point that he stopped and said, this is the reason and there's no other reason. Everything up until that point was actually pretty good science. I mean, he found a variable. He used the wrong fucking equipment, but let's look beyond that right now, because whether he used the right equipment or not, he still changed the density of the water. So he did increase the density, and it did make the egg rise. And he is he's misquoting Newton, and I covered this in our video. It's not the egg will move when there's a force enacted upon it. It's when there's an unbalanced force that's acting upon it. So because you want to pick and choose what you want to use and this and that, and you misrepresent or misinterpret a law that we understand, then that doesn't mean that you got it right. You just got a portion of it right. So then go to the next part, look for the next thing. And like I said, if you can find a time when your observation is invalidated, you have to rewrite, you have to approach that observation again. You do that experiment with the egg in free fall, and you will not get the same results. So therefore, something else is at play. Now you can say that given your circumstance, you can do this, but when we change the circumstances and it changes, then you have to say, okay, so what else is at play here? What do we need to look at next? And he fails to do that. He has a gross misunderstanding of what an independent variable is. He has a basic understanding from what the words that he's seen on a screen and put those together in the fucked up mind that he has, but he's nowhere near being a scientist. I'm not even a scientist, and I understand these basic fucking principles, So the last thing I'd like to say is fucking Anthony Riley. I think you are either extremely disingenuous or you're the fucking smartest monkey on the planet. But either way, you're a total fucking idiot. And that's another. That was.
I can tell that's a different dinger. That was lower.
Somewhere halfway across the thing. So.
I just want to say something to you, team. I'm just glad that the Earth isn't actually flat because of you. Because
why? Because then I'd be talking shit about all of you guys.
Well, no, because you would never admit that it's flat because you can't admit that you've got a mullet.
Oh no, the mullet's been cut.
Yeah, he cut his hair as well.
I cut my mullet. It's gone.
Right.
Well, I almost wanted to jump on Conspiracy Catz for his little video he had at the beginning because you touched on about the whole piece of equipment thing he had.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one coming.
Based on his equipment?
I've actually got his meter coming.
Why would he think a parts per million counter could register the density? I mean, the way that he did that video, he says he's following the scientific method and everything. But one thing I noticed was that once he took the parts per million meter out of one, he then just shook it and stuck it in the other. That was really fucking scientific. Well done, Riley. That was amazing. Absolute brilliant control.
No, my favorite part was when he stuck it in the water and he goes, 219, we don't know what that is. That could be uniform parts. We're going to call that the density. You're like, what? You just said you don't know what the fuck that means. I'm going to call it the density, though.
Again, he likes to make shit up to form a narrative. Now, that's actually why I've got the meter coming. That's his exact model meter to show him that he's making shit up.
Yeah, we actually use the proper equipment here at my business, and that's called a hydrometer. It measures specific gravity of liquids. It actually has something that has a particular density in it that raises and lowers based on the density of the water that goes into the hydrometer. And when you're doing a float tank, you'll actually, you know what the minimum amount of specific gravity you need to have. So you need to have enough salt in it that the specific gravity is over that amount.
So team, do I smell a collaboration video coming up?
That sounds like a good idea.
With what and what? Oh, me and you? Yeah, sure. Whenever you're ready.
Using the actual equipment you should be using versus the equipment that Riley used.
Yeah, the equipment what's funny is how much did that TDS meter cost?
$6.25 and then like $6 shipping.
Ah, okay. So that's not really the hydrometer we use costs like $3. I mean, it's literally like just pieces of plastic. That's all you need. Because all you have to do is get when it's a certain density, it's going to raise to a certain level. As long as you keep that piece of plastic above the level, then the water is dense enough for people to float in it.
Okay. All right. I think it's my turn to roast Riley. I've got a couple of things prepared. And then after I have finished roasting Riley, Team's got a video for us to debunk. So let's just get on with it. first of all, I want to say that being on a panel with you guys is actually incredibly humbling for me, because I'm still new to this. I've only been doing the whole debunking for 6 months, and I started because I watched all of your channels. And to now be part of this community and be on a panel with you guys, it feels good for me. And I want to thank you for accepting me into this community and making me feel welcome. Thank you for being on the panel, and thank you all of you for being awesome and never ever stop making videos, all of you.
Thank you.
No
what
worries.
if we die?
Then I will reanimate you and you have to continue.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad.
I won't ever let you die.
I'm trying to get my son to get into this so he can take over for me when I'm too old and decrepit to do any more funny shit.
What are you, about 55, 60?
I'm old enough to party.
Anyway, Anthony Riley. What can we say about Anthony Riley? Well, we can say a lot about Anthony Riley because he is the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. This week came about because Anthony Riley quoted a particular author on Scientific American, George Musser, and I did an interview with George Musser to clarify the points that was made. Now, Riley has watched this interview and taken it as a win. I'm going to get to that in a bit. This week turned into a big thing, and I've had videos out so far every day, and I've got more to come. The video tomorrow is the top 10 dumbest things ever said by Anthony Riley. And you know what? That was a fucking hard video to make, because Anthony Riley has made so many dumb comments, so many stupid things, that he has managed to place in the top 10 for Dumb Fuck of the Year 3 times and be runner-up twice. However, he's such a loser that he can't even win a loser competition. I'm going to go through just a few of the dumb things that Anthony Riley has said. No one has ever repeated the Bedford level experiment. He called Shawn Hufford a chicken after a 4.5 hour hangout, saying that he would not dare have a hangout with him. Again, after a 4.5 hour hangout. He said that an eclipse, a solar eclipse, should happen every single month, and we don't see it because it happens out at the ocean. He says that you should be able to see stars through a solar filter. Shawn, do you want to quickly explain that one to me again? Why does he think you should see stars in the solar filter?
Because he got 3 pictures from a professional photographer who actually took some eclipse pictures, 2 with a solar filter on, 1 with a solar filter off, during totality. And in all 3 pictures, they all had identical hotspots. You know, either hotspots or dead pixels. It was a combination of both. Anthony decided to start going through the pictures that had the solar filter on and start connecting the dots on these hot pixels, and started making his own constellations. And when called out for it, which was another 4 hour some odd video with Anthony and a hangout with me,
that you're terrified to do.
Do I?
That you're terrified to be in a hangout with him.
Yeah, that was actually the hangout that I was terrified to be in with him. Oddly enough. We actually showed him how all of the pixels were in the same position on the frame compared to everything else in the frame that was moving, like the sun and the moon. And the one star you could see when the filter was off, which was Regulus, which you couldn't see with the filter on for some reason. But he swears to this day that you can see stars that are so dim to see that they haven't charted them yet without a solar filter. But you can see them through a solar filter, something that cuts out 99.99999% of the light that comes in.
It's painful. It is painful. Other things Anthony Riley has said. The harvest moon is 8 to 10 times the size of the normal moon. He says he doesn't understand frame rates. That one was very interesting. I'm actually going to do a video on that. He says that light doesn't travel and laser rangefinders don't actually see the light from the laser. He said that there is no difference between square miles and miles squared. He thinks that Michel Foucault came up with the Foucault pendulum, even though he was born 100 years after Liam Foucault died. He thinks that ratios means odds. He says that time can't be an independent variable. He can't figure out the internal angles of a triangle without a calculator. But most importantly, he thinks that gravity doesn't exist and density causes everything. And this is one of the things that I have tried to talk to him about the most. The main reason that density cannot be a replacement for gravity is because the air is less dense above us than below. So the reason we were to fall was because of a disequilibrium, as he says in the medium, we would go up towards the less dense medium. Anthony Riley, you are an absolute fucking idiot. Now, in the interview with George Musser, I had George Musser, thanks team, I had George Musser clarify some things that he said in an article. George Musser wrote an article called How Einstein Revealed the Universe's Strange Non-Locality. In this article, George Musser spoke about how Einstein built upon Newton's understandings of gravity and explained away the apparent magic properties of gravity by snapping the wand and explaining that it was actually the curvature of space-time and not just an invisible force that causes the acceleration of things. Now, that particular phrase, not just an invisible force, is incredibly confusing for Anthony Riley, because the thing about Anthony Riley is he can't look below the most basic level. He sees or hears a word or a phrase, and that's all that matters to him. Now, the thing about gravity not being an invisible force is because it isn't an invisible force. It's an apparent force, a fictitious force in a reference frame. And I know what he's going to say. Oh, you've just called it a fictitious force. Well, a fictitious force does not mean that it doesn't exist, you fucking idiot. Is centrifugal acceleration not real? No. It's called a fictitious force because it exists within a reference frame. It does not mean that it's not real. George Musser clarified the position that I have had all the time, which is that gravity is the warping of space-time by mass, which manifests as an accelerating force within Newtonian physics. George Musser clarified in the interview that you, of course, cannot disregard Newtonian physics because they are perfectly valid for everyday use. Engineers use them every day, and in fact, you can derive Einstein's law of gravitational attraction, Newton's law of gravitational attraction from Einstein's field equations. However, I would like to quickly play to you a couple of things that have been said by Anthony Riley and co regarding this interview. Now, I wrote down a couple of things that he said. So let's first go to, where was it? 2 minutes. And we can listen to them misunderstand everything. At the beginning of every one of Nathan's shows, he does a house cleaning, whatever, to answer some basic questions. And because George Musser said that gravity is not literally a force, but we can think of it as a force for Newtonian physics and engineering, they have taken that and decided to make a meme. And I'd just like to play you some of the stupidness that they get.
Really quickly, any signs of Earth curvature?
There's no signs of Earth curvature, but you can act as though there is.
Don't make me laugh on this housekeeping. I want to do it quickly.
No proof, Nathan.
God.
I presuppose so.
Oh no.
I think Riley should answer all the questions
Oh, it's
since he
gone
did
already.
such a major victory.
Yeah.
Right, it's just I can feel the tears coming already. Right, any signs of axial rotation?
There are no signs of axial rotation, but you can think of axial rotation as though it's there.
Now, of course, axial rotation, we all know that axial rotation has in fact been proven by Anthony Riley's good friend Bob Nadell and his $20,000 fiber optic gyroscope. So, shut up.
Okay.
Only when I'm drunk.
What about the distance to the sun?
There's no evidence that the sun is a real tangible object, but you can think of it as though it's a real physical tangible object.
Now, he doesn't think the sun is a real physical tangible object, and if you watch my video yesterday called Flat Earther Does Science, you will see that he thinks the sun is an LED light shined through a crystal ball onto a wall, and he also thinks that you can have a 3D image on a 2D surface. Just check out my video from yesterday and you will understand that.
It doesn't exist.
Good answer, good answer. About scientific evidence of gravity, any of that?
Scientific
gravity.
evidence of what?
Quote, gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force. George Musser, 2019.
Well done, Anthony Riley. You did just quote George Musser. The problem is that you don't understand what that means. Now, one thing that Anthony Riley says all the time is that gravity, is that maths isn't reality. Now, if he would just actually pay attention and do some maths, he would realize that maths is actually the only language that we can really describe our understanding of gravity in. The English language isn't really suited to describing the nuances and levels of understanding that we have. Newton had a basic understanding of gravity, but he didn't really understand it. He did try to come up with a reason why gravity happened, but he didn't know. And to him, it appeared as magic. Now, because in the interview with George Mercer said that it appeared as magic. They are now saying that Newton was basically saying it was a magic trick. This is how fucking stupid they are. They literally can't listen below the basic words that they hear. Now, I think I've covered everything then that I wanted to in this roast of Riley. Riley misunderstands absolutely everything. But more than that, he is incredibly dishonest. He will never admit when he is wrong. And he actually hurts the flat earth argument with the stupid shit that he comes out with. To clarify everything that I have just said, Anthony Riley, you are a fucking idiot. Team?
Oh, drop the ball.
Anthony Riley, you are a fucking idiot. Team? He's not. Come on!
Did you rage ding again while you were muted?
I don't think he's there.
Oh my god, I had myself muted. I was hitting it the whole time. Like, why can't they hear me?
Right, we'll do it again. Anthony Riley, you are a fucking idiot. There we go.
On a side note.
Yes! That's actually the dinger from yesterday that didn't break. I threw that bitch hard against the wall. Concrete wall, and it survived. So, dinger 2.0.
Survival of the fittest dingers.
What's that?
Side note, Greg. I was very touched that 7 of your 10 top 10s, actually, I've done videos on.
Well, Shawn, like I've said, you are the holy grail of Anthony Riley, because that playlist is basically helping me write my top 10. I've still not completely finished it because it's been an extremely hard thing to write. Originally, I wanted it to be a top 5 dumbest things Anthony Riley ever said, but that's fucking impossible. And even a top 10 has become a monumental task. But there will be a top 10 video out tomorrow, and you can thank Shawn for that.
Just as a wrench in your works there, one of the other things that Anthony said that the chat actually reminded me of was about the whole solar eclipse thing, was that the Earth shine was laid by Flat Earth as a trap to see who would lie and produce Earth shine.
Yes, Earth shine.
In 2017. The trap was laid 2 weeks before the eclipse in 2017, even though we've got pictures of Earth shine dating back as far as 1907.
Yeah, that's right. I covered that in my video yesterday, the whole Earthshine thing. He doesn't even understand what Earthshine is. He thinks that you should say, if he thinks that the sun is real and it's causing Earthshine, then you should, on the shadow, be able to see any sunspots or anything that are on the sun. I mean, how, if anyone doesn't know what Earthshine is, it's when light from the sun is reflected off of the Earth onto the moon, meaning that you can see the night side of the moon when you wouldn't normally be able to see it. It's faintly lit and it gives the whole moon like a faint glow. And Anthony Riley basically, as Shawn said that Earthshine was created as a trap. It was a trap from the beginning. Even though Soundly got it, Slice Barkane got it. Anyone else got it, Shawn, that you know of?
I don't remember Sly getting it.
I'm sure I saw something about Sly. Well, maybe not Sly, but anyway, Earthshine.
But every eclipse, there's hundreds of Earthshine pictures all over the internet. But apparently, it was a trap laid by Anthony Riley as a first in 2017.
Yeah, he laid Earthshine as a trap, even though it's existed way before he was born. And oh my god, yeah. So, what did you guys think of my roast of Anthony Riley? I tried to cover as much as possible.
There's one thing that I just want to say when it comes to your video tomorrow.
Yeah?
You should at least have some honourable mentions.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
the entire list. It was just so hard. These should all be ranked in the top 5.
Now I can see quite a few flat earthers in the chat saying that, oh no, George Musser has proved us right, blah blah blah. There's one particular point in that interview with George Musser where I said a very specific thing. I said to him, I want you to clarify my position that gravity is mass warping space-time which manifests as a force. And he said, that's good. He said, no, his words were, that's pretty good, and I like the word manifest. And that has been my position from the beginning, that gravity manifests as a force that we can measure as an acceleration. But now Sleeping Warrior and co are saying that that was never my position, and I always said that gravity is an actual real force. And now I'm changing it to say that it's a fictitious force and a manifestation.
No. It is a real force. It's a real force inside of your inertial inside of your inertial reference frame.
And that's what a fictitious force means. Yeah.
Right. It's a fictitious force, but it's a real force that you can absolutely measure in your reference frame. It's just like putting a ball in a weight and spinning it on the outside of a bucket. That scale on the inside is going to register a weight. Why? Because that ball is pushing up against it, and you can measure that force. It's not really a force that's there, because if you cut the string, the ball doesn't go straight; it flies off at its tangent. So you know that force is just being manifested inside of your reference frame. So it is an actual force, but it's only a force inside of your reference frame.
So when George said it's not literally a force, but you can think of it as a force for Newtonian practices, he was absolutely right, because there is no it's not a force like you're pushing against a wall and causing that force. It's a force that is caused by the curvature of space-time, and it's a fictitious force because it's within that reference frame. So everything that George said, every single thing that George Musser said in that interview, clarified my position and not Sleeping Warrior's. Yet Sleeping Warrior and co are claiming it as a win. And that just, to me, personifies the stupidity and the dishonesty that they employ. I mean, is there any way that you guys can see a flat earth win from that interview?
No, but you have to remember that Anthony Riley has admitted that he will cherry pick the best of his arguments, while he acknowledges that cherry picking is dishonest.
Yeah, absolutely. He says cherry picking is the only way to win arguments. All right, team. So you had a video for us.
Yeah, I have a video to excuse me, to play. It's actually a Jeranism video. This is Anthony Riley covering Anthony Riley. So we'll make fun of him trying to cover himself, I guess. Now, I guess as long as y'all can hear me, as long as y'all can hear this, then the chat can hear it. So tell me if you can hear this.
Do you think it's there or not?
Yep, I can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Good deal. Well, then I'll scoot it back just a bit so we can hear the stupid shit he said right there. And you guys tell me when to stop it, and I'll stop it.
That presentation out, kind of like what happened with Travis from Life is Short, or
we
kind of helps us all out.
When we start our own journey, and you've got to make some decisions along the way. You've got to decide, do you think it's there or not? If it is there, can they prove it? If it's not there, what's the crack? For me personally, my position on this is that there is no such force. There is no such thing as gravity the way that we're told. I'm open to the idea that there could be some extra, some like electromagnetic effect, perhaps.
Stop.
Right. Yeah.
Why don't we float in a Faraday cage?
Exactly.
Seriously, this when I was first getting into flat earth stuff, one of my first kind of things that I came across was Nathan Thompson's group, and in that group, that is the question that got me kicked, is when they said, oh, gravity is just electromagnetism, and I said, why don't we float in a Faraday cage? I couldn't post after that. That was why they got rid of me. They don't like facts, do they?
Well, they like to claim that, gravity is selective, because it can hold water down, but it can't hold a butterfly. Here's the flip side of that coin. They're going to go the electromagnetic route. Anything with water in it should be repelled from the surface.
Yeah.
That, and you just don't see. I mean, we can test for electromagnetic fields, and we don't see any of that on Earth whatsoever. Like we don't see an electromagnetic field that represents the strength that we would need for an object to accelerate to the ground.
This is where we could get someone like AB Science in.
If AB Science would like to come in, if he's there, he's welcome.
I mean, I don't know if he's online. I could check, but you know, he's one of these people that actually knows about electromagnetism.
Yeah. He is actually a research scientist and a physicist.
Fuck yeah, bring
Guys,
it.
while you're sorting out, I'm up in just over 6 hours. This is a point I'm going to have to drop. I wish I could stay because I'm really enjoying this, but I'll be absolutely shattered in the morning if I don't get off now.
Well, Catz, thank you for coming on. Do you just want to quickly give a shout out for your channel and let anyone know what's coming up?
To be honest, I don't know what's coming up myself. I tend to just decide on a Friday night and then knock a couple of videos together. So yeah, well, I'm Conspiracy Catz. Click on the link and have a look. But I haven't got anything interesting to say, mate. Honestly, until Friday. But you enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll be watching. And I know that Anthony's watching right now. So Anthony, night, pal.
No. See you later, Catz. Thanks for coming, bud.
See you guys.
All right, let's get on with the stupid.
Now we can talk shit.
Yeah, we can talk shit about Conspiracy Catz now. What a fucking dick that guy is, eh?
Yeah.
Oh man, split personality. You gotta love him.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm fine with. But what, for the purposes of this demonstration today, I'm going from the perspective that what they're telling us is gravity is complete and utter bunkum, and we can explain it away with current science that isn't what they're telling us it is. And I'm going to assert that we've all been brainwashed by this concept called gravity, so that there's no.
So if he's going to assert that, he needs to have some evidence behind it. Where's the evidence that anybody's been brainwashed by gravity?
I got a question for you, team.
Yeah.
That screen that he's got up there, is that from their video, or did you pick that?
No, that's from Jeranism. Jeranism picked that, which is stupid. PPM does not fucking mean density.
Well, I'm just looking at the duck face he's got going on.
I know. I was thinking that exact same thing. Like, this is what one thing about Riley. I should have said it in the roast, really. But his ego, I think, is one of the biggest I've seen within the flat Earth community, because, like, look at all the thumbnails for his videos. He's got that like dark background with like his face in a shadow, trying to look all moody and intelligent and stuff. And then he goes and wears a lab coat and stuff to do science, and he doesn't monetize his channel. So it must all be about ego and wanting the attention, right?
I think he probably would. He just wants to be the one who is right. You know, that's what he wants. And it is about ego, right? We all have this sort of God complex inside of us that makes us want to be the person that does something good, you know, that gets notoriety and gets recognition for something. He wants to be recognized as the person who is debunking gravity. But he's not debunking gravity. He's not. He's so blinded by that desire that he's not even wrong. I mean, he's just not right, not wrong. He's not even science. That's what you are, Riley. You're not even fucking science right now. And hey, what's up with his glasses? Is that tape on the right?
Yes, it is. That's him making fun of people who do real science.
Yeah.
Man.
I have a pair of glasses like that with tape.
I just sent the link to AB Science, so
cool.
He says that he'll be toilet and then he'll be coming on.
Excellent. If you guys don't know who AB Science is, I'll put his link in the description as well. He's a channel that does some very educational content, not necessarily flat Earth based, just explaining a lot of physics, and he does it really, really well. He's actually a real physicist and a research scientist, and genuinely knows what he's talking about. So make sure you guys subscribe to AB Science. Anyway, let's carry on with the stupid.
Consideration at all for anything else, and there should be, because we can demonstrate that there is something else. And there may be an extra force of some kind, but I'm not going to touch the spitball side to it. I'm just going to talk about what they tell us and basically show how it's not the way we're told.
Right, pause.
Let's move straight.
So in his egg video, he was talking about how you cannot assert there's another thing happening apart from the density. But he's literally just said there might be another force.
It might, yeah.
You make up your fucking mind, man.
Again,
didn't Team
the left
Skeptic
side of
say
his
that
mouth, the left side of his mouth never knows what the right side of his mouth is saying.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Team Skeptic say earlier this is Anthony Riley talking about Anthony Riley or something?
Yep.
I think he was talking to Jeranism about it. I think he was talking to Jeranism. I don't know. I haven't seen the video on Anthony Riley's channel, so I don't know where he did this at. But this was after his egg video.
Just before we carry on, I just want to introduce AB Science to the panel. How you doing this evening, sir?
Hello. Oh, yeah, not bad. Thanks. How are you doing?
Not bad. Welcome to the panel. Would you like to just quickly shell out your channel a second?
Yeah, you can see lots of links going through the through the chat right now. But yeah, I'm AB Science. I kind of look at sciencey things, and main idea is to take a look and see what interesting things can we learn about physics when we consider all the flat Earth arguments and all that.
Thank you very much.
I'll just say I've never encountered you before, and it's nice to meet you. And when you first joined the panel, I panicked because at first I thought the name said Arwen, so I apologize.
Oh, did you? I'm not even looking at the screen. Did you just mute him the moment he came in?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right, carry on with the stupid.
Yeah, let me just ask you a question real quick. So would you say that
so it is
density
Jeranism.
explains it all for the most part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, currently that's my camp too. I mean, a lot of people want to say, well, why do things go down? You know, I've heard that from a lot of people I've tried to talk to about this issue. And again, when you're talking about relative density, as soon as there's a change in that equilibrium, a difference in the equilibrium, something has to go somewhere. And so if it went sideways, well, then our feet would be attached to the side, and we would call that down. So I don't get caught up on this whole idea of, well, why do things go down? Why is there a preferred direction?
Pause. Yeah, so he doesn't get caught up on this idea of why there has to be a preferred direction. That's because it destroys your entire fucking argument, doesn't it?
Well, in English speak, you know, actual non-con man speak, that is, I don't want to have to deal with not having an answer for it.
Because, yeah, if he took this and he applied it to anything else, he would be like, if you were like, you know, I can get on my phone and see the fastest route to the location I'm going. And he's just like, well, you know, that's not really the fastest route to the location you're going. That's just what it says, you know, no big deal. It's probably this other way that I know of because I say so.
My God. Carry on.
If there's a change in the equilibrium. So I'm a believer in relative density, but I want to hear this presentation and see what I think after that. So like I said, go ahead. I actually, before the word force to me is just hilarious because whenever I hear force, I don't know why, maybe it's just me, but I think Star Trek and Star Wars and this magical idea of force. So force to me is hilarious. And, you know,
stop.
What?
Oh my God.
I don't get it. Like it's a word we give to something that's a concept that we understand. That's all it is. It can have many different meanings depending upon the way you're using it, including fantastic.
As you,
I just want to
wait until you tell him that a force field is actually a thing.
Yeah, I know. Like, he's talking about Star Wars, Star Trek, like trying to make fun of sci-fi and stuff. I brought up in one of my videos how the universe is a certain amount of gigaparsecs that we can observe, and they jump on that. Oh, you said giga. You're just talking like Star Wars. Like they cannot actually separate like science and science fiction. They don't have the ability. Like, if they've talked about that in science fiction, then it's a joke. We don't need to think about it.
I just want to point out something that that Team Skeptic said. Force is something that we understand. And he's not talking about flat earthers. We understand force, flat earthers don't.
Yeah.
I mean, what does he think happens when his car accelerates? Like, I mean, does he just think that literally the simple, like there's little magical birds behind him or in front of him pulling the car, depending upon how hard he's pushing down on the accelerator? Like the engine is just screaming at the birds and the birds are flying away from the car.
No,
You know, I mean,
the birds are using the force, obviously.
Fuck, they would be. I'm trying to think of a way to explain this without using a force. I guess the birds flying away would be a force. There's no way to explain it, Jism. Okay, you're fucking wrong. Understand it. Stop being pedantic and just understand what we're talking about. Because you are a normal human being. We do know that you know what you're that you know what we're talking about when we say force. So to deny it just means you're being a disingenuous piece of shit idiot.
Well, I also want to say that you know what Jism or Anthony Riley could do is they could open up the bonnet of the car and then they'll see an engine there and then the wand will be snapped in two.
Well, if we can backtrack a bit, because you know what actually brought AB in here was we were talking about how Jaron made the statement that, or was it Jaron or was it Anthony? I know they both said it at one point or another, but they thought that gravity might be an electromagnetic force.
Oh yeah.
So if gravity wasn't a thing and it was all based on electromagnetism, what would that imply for water on Earth?
That depends on the field direction.
Well, if it's holding, you know, everything down, would it be able to hold everything down the way it does?
So water is slightly diamagnetic. So what that means is that its internal magnetization tends to oppose the applied magnetic field. So if we have a if we have a downward magnetic force, then its magnetization would point up. So it would start being pushed down a little bit. But at the kind of fields that you would require to have this kind of acceleration, it is insane. You need a huge magnet at the center of the Earth, or below the surface, which has to be infinitely large in all directions, and it needs to be magnetized out of the plane. And it's possible for certain magnetic materials, but that would be a really, really high energy configuration. So it wouldn't really mean anything for water, and it's not possible.
Well,
Wow,
I've always been of the opinion that if the gravity was entirely replaced by electromagnetism, that anything with water would literally float because it's diamagnetic.
Well, that depends on the field direction and the strength, but yeah.
And also, if it's all electromagnetism,
we need a really strong magnet to make water float.
And if everything's electromagnetism instead of gravity, wouldn't that affect different materials differently? Whereas gravity is a uniform acceleration on everything and 9 meters per second. That wouldn't be the case in an electromagnetic field, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't be the case. So we'd see that certain objects would fall down, certain objects would be pushed up, and it would all happen at different rates as well.
Yeah.
So the whole thing wouldn't work.
Not to mention, like, precise electronics would be affected by it. And I mean, there would be a lot of things that were affected by the electromagnetic field if that's what it was. If that's what was holding things down.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I'd thought about doing a thing on this, but the whole argument is so stupid. I don't actually know where to begin.
Yeah, that's just flat earthers in general. They're far too stupid, and we don't know where to begin.
Well, I'm sorry for introducing the aneurysm.
I know a lot of people, and Bob's one of them, that talks to me about acceleration, that there has to be a force if there's an acceleration, and I don't even believe that really the acceleration is caused by that necessary force. So
what? So you're rewriting the laws of motion. Okay, no big deal.
So wait, is he literally disagreeing with F equals ma there?
Yes.
Yep, 100%.
I mean, all right, let's just for a second assume that it's density. So what's the equation for force if it's density?
Oh, F equals m over v.
Right. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, because then, like I said in our video, that means that ma equals m over v. That means a equals 1 over v. That means if you put two objects of the same mass inside of a vacuum chamber, and their relative densities were the sole factor for acceleration, then you put something in there that's twice as dense, but with the same mass, it should accelerate twice as fast. It's not what we see in reality. The Earth is not flat; it's a globe, and flat earthers are idiots.
But do you really expect flat earthers to make sense?
No. And that's why they're infinite comedy. Carry on.
Not to mention that volume is measured in cubic area.
Yeah.
And fucking acceleration is distance over time squared.
Wait, so what's
Dimensionally, nothing adds up there.
So what is now the units for force? It's mass per. Oh my god, I can't even figure out what the units would be.
Mass per second, mass
units
over
for
time
force is
squared
kilogram
over.
meters per second squared.
Yeah, but within this new paradigm of force being a different equation, what is now the units for force?
Yeah, but what is the equation?
Impossible. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, the equation would be
densities.
The equation is m over v. I mean, I'm sorry, a over v equals 1. That's the equation for force.
So it's meters squared per meters per second squared.
That's just a over v. So meters per second squared divided by meters per second squared. So that is 1 over second.
And that is what force
That's
is, apparently.
Frequency.
Hey, we just redefined force mathematically. Good job, guys. We learn new science shit all the time.
Well done, Riley. Go and collect your Nobel Prize.
Oh, I described it the other day, I think, on the Rantiathon. People should...
The Rantiathon.
The Rantiathon.
Thank God I missed that one.
Check out Ranty Flatter's channel if you didn't get it.
Have you seen Randy's channel lately? He's been all his videos have been "No one loves me," and he did a video recently which was, "If I don't get a bunch of patrons, I'm going to delete my channel." He didn't get any patrons. In fact, he lost one. His channel's still there.
One thing I just want to say though is the Rantiathon. That kind of sounds like Behind the Curve, to be honest.
Or just proving the globe.
Yeah.
24-hour globe-proof live stream.
Chance to watch that. I joined them for about 3 hours there, and we tried to raise some funds for Ranty to get a drone. But
stop trying to raise that man funds and encourage him to go get a real job. That's all it takes, guys. Normal people have one real job and they live fine. Stop thinking the Earth is flat and spending your time losing your job proving the Earth is a globe.
Yeah, you've already got people proving the Earth's a globe, like Simon Dan, Conspiracy Catz, and us lot. We don't need any more Ranty. You're not needed here.
Go work at like Circuit City or something.
Go and work at Taco Bell and prove the meat tube.
If we placed a car in neutral on a slightly downhill and that car started to roll down, I believe that it gains momentum. And I think that it's the same thing as when you drop the ball out here.
It's literally just applied force.
It just gains momentum for no reason. What the actual?
Yeah. It changed momentum for no reason whatsoever. Just because it gains momentum, guys.
Fuck's sake.
Everything does.
But what he's saying there, there's no force because of a force.
Yeah. Hey, does force equal force?
Yeah.
It's going to go faster as it travels.
Actually, it does.
Travels down because it's gaining the momentum of the speed that it was going before the speed it's going now.
Wait, what? That's why I'm sorry. He just put a bunch of words together there. Like, it's gaining momentum because of the velocity it's gaining. Is that what he said?
Well, I suppose that would make sense.
So basically, it's getting faster because it's getting faster.
I wonder why does he not think his car just gets faster going uphill?
Well, speaking of cars, non sequitur entirely. But AB, I want your input on one of my favorite analogies to use whenever a flat earther mixes up weight and density. My favorite analogy is you have a car in your driveway. and these are the people who deny gravity. Its mass is set. You can't change it, but you can push the car, but you can't lift it.
Mm.
Now, does that equate the difference between mass and weight?
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah, there's lots of other factors, but yeah.
But if the car's mass never changes and you can push it, if there was no gravity to cause its weight, you'd be able to lift it up with just as much ease as you could push it.
I see what you're saying. Yes, you're right. Yeah. So if it is just gaining momentum because it's gaining momentum, then you should be able to lift it up because you should be able to lift it up.
Yeah, because when you're pushing it, you're only overcoming the friction, right? And
you're also moving the mass of the vehicle.
Yeah, but that's the force that's acting against you.
Right. But it's not an equal force when you're dealing with its weight, because you have to deal with
Anthony
gravity.
Anthony Riley's given us the best explanation of the difference between mass and weight on screen right now. That egg is weightless, however, it is not massless.
Someone's asking in the chat, in one of my streams recently, I asked for people to come up with a name for a group of flat earthers, and I think what we settled on was a retard of flat earthers. So.
Plug. Me and Ranty have got this little fight that we're having where it's not right that Ranty's got a similar amount of subs than what I've got. I've been here longer. So everybody go and sub to my channel because I need the subs.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm going to stop that argument right now because I've been around the longest. You guys all have more subscribers than me. I don't make it a big deal because I'm not about the subscribers. I just want to put out the content I put out. People like it. They do. They don't. They don't. You guys, in my own admission, have better content than me. I just deal with facts. You guys make it entertaining.
Like,
but
he just proved his ego there, right? He literally just proved his ego. Oh, yes. Ranty shouldn't have more subscribers than me. Go and subscribe to me. Fuck's sake.
And here's the other side of that argument. Even though Ranty does a great job of proving the Earth, he actually goes out constantly to find proof of the globe Earth. Anthony sits there back on his channel and
puts eggs in water.
This is the first thing he's done on camera besides talking shit about people in months. So yeah, Ranty should have more subscribers than you because he actually goes out and makes an effort. So I'll just say that to you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Adverts, generally speaking. So there's my cheap plug. I recently did my own little experiment. It's on my channel. It's a couple of videos old, and you've got it on screen. Literally, egg, water, salt solution, and literally you can see by the bottom left-hand picture where the egg started, and by the bottom right-hand picture, which we'll come to in a bit. It's not in this picture now. It's in. You'll see the results, and make the egg move with a little bit of salt.
My thing is he completely denies the fact that if there was no water there, it would just drop.
Yeah.
Why would it drop? Start from that point, because that's part of your you have to assign controls in all this. You have to understand what you're dealing with to begin with, all the things that you have to take into account through the whole process. And one of them is going to be the downward acceleration of all things. If you don't take that into account and explain why, now we have he quoted Newton, I don't know how many times in that video he did, but the egg's not moving. Therefore, first law of motion, there's balanced forces acting upon the egg. We know that there's a force pulling it down because when there's no water, it falls to the ground. We have to take that into account.
Well, here's something else he's not trying to apply here is what happens if he puts a weight or a scale underneath the glass and the egg and measures them separately and then measures them combined? They'll be the same weight.
His mind
still have the same amount of force pulling down.
Yeah. Now, the big problem that I had with him doing this experiment is when he was saying you can't assert another cause because that's pseudoscience. But what he's doing is just ignoring everything else, right? He's just going, I'm going to pretend there's nothing else there at all, and it doesn't matter if there is, because if you say there is, it's pseudoscience.
How could dead rooster?
Oh yeah, poor rooster. I'm going to call Peter.
Peter would hate Riley.
This is essentially in a nutshell, what I'm going to talk about. Now, what I need to do is move this out of the way. That. So, you've got to start with the first fundamental question of, well, what is gravity? And it's one of those things where there is no real right or wrong answer on our side of the fence, because once you realise that we're not spinning, we're not orbiting anything.
Citation needed on that one.
I've got citation that we are spinning. His friend Bob, just want to point that out. His friend Bob.
Well,
now
to be fair, Greg, Bob didn't do the test. He just presented the results.
Yeah, his friend did, Nick, apparently, and it wasn't.
It was actually Rick Zimmerman.
Rick, that's right, and it wasn't a ring laser gyro. It was a fiber optic gyro. Riley pointed that out very specifically to me. But the thing is, they're basically the same. Just a fiber optic gyro is a bit more like accurate. So he definitely proved rotation even more accurately. And let's just have a look at what he's got written here for a second, shall we? Newtonian gravity, a force, often claimed to be seen in the Cavendish experiment. Now, you can say claimed, but then if you're saying it wasn't seen in the Cavendish experiment, then please tell me what caused the attraction of those masses. That's one thing that I missed in my roast. Anthony Riley thinks that a ratio is the same as odds. So
I would suppose that this was written by a quantum eraser, but there's not enough colors in it.
Yeah.
What does quantum erasers deal with having so many different punctuation that doesn't even matter?
Because he's a retard.
He does that when he creates his graphics. You can tell he's raging. Because he'll take one word and make it 6 times bigger than all the rest of the words, and then change the color of that one word, to stand out. Like in this one, it would definitely consistent. Just the word consistent would have been 7 times bigger than normal and yellow. It'd be try and find out a consistent definition.
Right. So looking at this, he's gone on to say it's. In Einstein's general relativity, it's not a force, it's the bending of space-time. Yeah, now what you're doing there, Riley, is the bending of space-time is what's happening, and then the effect is gravity. The force of gravity is the effect of the bending of space-time. The way that he tries to say that they are mutually exclusive is completely idiotic, because the main thing is that Newton came a long time before Einstein. He didn't have all the knowledge and previous research, and then he gave us an explanation as to what that force is. Now he says there it's not capable of testing or experiment. Didn't they test it with the eclipse?
Oh, you're talking about general relativity? Yes. But
yeah.
Most recently by the Galileo. Well, the most recent confirmation of Einstein's general relativity was the black hole.
Exactly as predicted by relativity.
They had people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was the collision between a black hole and a neutron star.
Nope, there's one newer.
Is there one newer now as well?
Well, the newest one.
Yeah, you really keep up with my department news.
The black hole observations that they just made with the
of course,
eight telescopes. Well, the thing about it is it doesn't. It's just a piece of evidence to support Einstein's general relativity. And the reason why is because people didn't know what to expect. They just said, look, here, they had all these teams. They said, draw out, given the data, what you think we should see, right? Based on relativity, what do you think we should see? Then when they processed all the images, they compared them to these images that were already pre-submitted. And all these images that were pre-submitted were only submitted based on Einstein's general relativity. And sure enough, they looked almost dead on exactly to what the picture showed.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, within the physics community, a lot of people really find general relativity really annoying. The problem is that everyone keeps trying to disprove it, and everyone seems to fail, however hard they try.
Yeah, my favorite proofs of the general relativity is the recent Galilean satellites that were put into misorbit, where they were put into elliptical orbits instead of geocentric orbits. And due to the fact that they were in elliptic orbits, they were able to, they had no use to the for what they were doing. They were supposed to be like the GPS of Europe. So they had no purpose. I mean, you couldn't use them. But what they do have is highly accurate atomic clocks on there. So you can see the rate that they tick at, and you can watch to see if they tick slower on when they're closer to the Earth. And they tick. And according to Einstein's relativity, they were only 0.0001 off. I mean, that's fucking proof right there, guys. That's absolute evidence that he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Although flat earthers will say that because you can't do it yourself, it's not real science.
Well, if they got, the education, they could actually do it themselves. But we know how that's going to go.
You mean indoctrination? Get it right. Come on.
No, it's the independent variable, because we couldn't get up there and manipulate the space-time to show that it was different rate.
Oh, God, there's another thing I missed in the roast. Stupid thing said by Riley, that time is a man-made construct. Like seriously. Let me just clarify for that for you, Riley. Time isn't a man-made construct. The measurement of time and the units that we use to measure time are man-made constructs. Time's going to happen whether we measure it or not. Why do you think you grow old, you fucking idiots? Anyway, more stupid?
I would love to see him try to define what a number is.
So what we're saying, Craig, is if I want to stay young forever, I just have to break all my clocks.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
Curvature. Gravity is one of those things that becomes moot from our point of view, because it may be there, but it may not be there, and we don't need it, and we don't have to explain it by keeping the atmosphere on. We don't need a force to hold our atmosphere in. We're contained by something. I don't know what, but we're definitely contained by something.
Oh, fuck's sake! Pause. That's the flat Earth argument right there. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not that.
That's a point of contrarian, being a contrarian right there. That's what I think most of them are, is just somebody that, like I said, they have to, if they're a contrarian about 10,000 different topics, then they might get one right. So therefore, they just go against everything, because they might be right on one. They're just waiting for that one that they're right on so they can go, see, I told you. But it's all about them. It's never about the truth. It's all about them.
I still say if NASA came out tomorrow and said that the Earth's flat, they would all instantly become globe earthers.
Probably.
Yeah, true. Well, I suppose it's the idea, right? If they're just contrarian about enough topics, then eventually they get it right. An infinite amount of monkeys, given an infinite amount of time, will eventually write the complete works of Shakespeare. It takes only one monkey a second to write a better argument than a Flerf. And there'll be less shit on the keyboard.
It takes only one monkey 1 second to write a better argument than a Flerf. AB Science 2019.
I think it was a video I was watching yesterday or the day before, and they were talking about pouring SpaghettiOs out and it spelling out. Oh no, you know what? It was in an atheism video. Oh wow, and it's such a good argument too. The guy says he said what happens if you poured out some or you walk into the kitchen and there's some SpaghettiOs laid out on the countertop and it says, "Do your chores, Mom." It's like, would you think that your mom was the one who did that? Well, of course you would think about it. You would think it was, because in all likelihood, it probably was your mom. But is it impossible to get those combination of letters in that way given enough times? And if you think about it, you're like, well, fuck, man, people win the lottery, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, these extreme cases, these extreme odds that people have to go against to win, it does happen.
Now, if I win like 100 million on the Euro Millions, like I would pay for a flat earther to go into space on a private thing. If that was 20 million of my 100 million gone, I'd do it just to actually send a flat earther into space.
What, return trip or?
No, they're not coming back.
Rocket launch. How are you going to get one on a rocket?
I'm going to strap them to it.
Jeranism said it best. He won't even go. Even if it was offered to him, he wouldn't go because he knows it's fake. He knows it's fake. So any attempt to take him up will just result in crash or some sort of like forced landing. Oh, sorry, we couldn't take you. Like he just wouldn't go. Come on, that's your narrative's unfalsifiable at that point.
Well, that's the thing.
You don't have a true narrative. You're not willing to test your beliefs.
The flat earthers don't want truth, and they don't want evidence. And I can prove this right now because I'm doing Project Aristophanes. It's going to be in July rather than June because of weather, okay? Now, I've currently got 437 entries. How many of those entries do you think are from flat earthers?
0.
Exactly. I have invited flat earthers to be part of the experiment. They can do it themselves. They can record it themselves. But do you think they want to be part of something that can actually prove the circumference of the planet? Fuck, do they?
Well, not a chance. Well, Sly ran into the same problem 2 years ago when he did his version of this. And he only had 23 people show up for it. And, again, no flat earthers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I tried setting this up as a kind of sneaky, underhand little study of, if I could get some flat earthers to do this and get some globe earthers to do it, and then pretend I'm running an experiment to, measure the shape of the Earth. But what I'll actually be doing is running forensic accounting algorithms to detect falsification of data, and then I'll be able to create an interesting paper on
do it
on scientific dishonesty. But I've been trying to run this, and every flat earther I've spoken to have tried to get them involved, but funnily enough, no takers.
Flat earthers don't care.
Well, they just don't want the truth.
No,
they want the
the
argument.
response I've had was, your experiment will fail because you can't measure the location of the sun.
But the sun is directly over somewhere at any time.
I mean, you can measure how many degrees it moves through the sky. For fuck's... Oh, my God. Team, press play.
This was right to hand, by the way.
Oh, my God. Every time right the hand's brought up, every single time right the hand is brought up, I want everybody, when this video is done, or even right now, just open a new tab, right, and go into YouTube and type internet troll versus female MMA. And then you can watch right the hand get beaten up. And he has to tap out twice. It's fucking amazing. Carry on, team.
What I want to find is there's apparently someone made a right the hand generator or something like that.
Yes. You need to go through. I think it's your Discord logs. It's on a website called Botnik. So if you just search for that keyword, you should be able to pick it up if you go through your Discord logs.
My one.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's get on with it.
But they definitely need it. It's absolutely essential for them to have something to hold the atmosphere onto the ball. But for us, it's discretionary. We don't necessarily need it. It might be there, might not be. For us, it's moot.
They don't need nothing to hold the air to the surface, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They just don't. They just like that frustrates me. It's like I want to know about everything, right? Every time I learn something new, I want to learn about the next new thing that's tied to that new thing, and that's what drives me. They just like, well, we'll get to atmosphere when we get to atmosphere. Right now, we don't really need it. We're going to talk about gravity because gravity is absolutely necessary in their need for like the atmosphere to be held down. But we're not going to discuss what's holding the atmosphere down in our model because we don't have a fucking answer. Because every answer we give you is going to be fallacious because it doesn't match what science says everywhere else we look in the world.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to hop out for a while.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Shawn.
I am definitely Anthony'd out for the day.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, thanks for coming on, man. And yeah, guys, check out Shawn Hufford's channel. And definitely check out his playlist of Sleeping Warrior interactions.
I'm about to add the rest of my videos to it now, and I'm going to make a new playlist because somebody in the chat did comment that the only people who don't research are globe earthers. So I'll be sure to put up my series, which is now at 12 or 13 parts, called Flat Earth Research Wins. That'll be a new playlist coming on my channel tonight. So have a good night, guys.
See you later.
Good night.
Team, what happened to the video?
Oh, I thought we were actually ending the video because they were leaving.
No, just Sean's going, I think.
Oh, shit. I thought AB said he was stepping out. Okay.
No.
Well, I already shut that video down. I got it.
That's all right. Well,
but I do.
I think we should probably. I was gonna start to bring it all to an end there right now. Anyway, it's been a very fun stream, and I hope all the flat earthers in the chat that have seen the George Musser interview realize that it does not in any way back up anything that Sleeping Warrior has ever said. Right, so I suppose let's go through and let you guys shell out your channels. AB Science, let's start with you, bud.
Yeah, once again, AB Science. I do sciencey stuff. I do the occasional funny thing. It's all about what can we learn from different ideas in science. So, yeah, if you like a bit of maths and stuff like that, then that's a good channel for you.
One of his playlists, one of his videos is in the Sleeping Warrior playlist, so make sure you guys check it out. And thanks for coming on the panel at short notice, AB.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you.
No worries. Planar Walk. Is he there? Planar.
Ah, I must have cut out for me.
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy, hoy.
Yeah, shit out your channel, bud.
Anyway. I was actually going to mention that I've got a video coming out tomorrow, but this video won't actually be part of Sleeping Warrior Week.
How dare you?
I'm gonna be talking about they, and it should actually the premiere thing should show that it will be premiering. It'll be premiering tomorrow, right? But you'll be able to go and set the reminder later today, probably in about half an hour once I figure out a thumbnail. It'll be called The Real Plan of They, featuring the agent.
Nice. Thanks for coming on the channel, on the panel Planar Walk. If you guys haven't checked out Planar Walk's channel, please do. I genuinely think he is one of the funniest content creators in this community. And I thoroughly enjoy watching his videos. My favourite one so far is Ban All Chemicals.
I'm just glad that you didn't invite Radical to to sort of be outshine me.
Anyway, and team, show yourself out.
I mean, shit. AB, it was a pleasure having you on, man. You need to come on more often so we can get that sexy Russian voice of yours on my channel.
Sexy Russian voice.
It's a joke, man. But I'll tell you what, next time I'll try. Well, we need to get enough interaction so I can roast your ass next, because nobody's safe when they get around Team Skeptic. Nobody.
All right. Good luck. Bring it.
If you guys don't know, Team Skeptic has recently gone full-time YouTube. So is that mean there's gonna be more stuff coming out from your channel, team?
Yeah, actually, I have a video with Godless Engineer coming out. We're gonna push it to this weekend. I have hopefully a video coming out tomorrow. I'm about to get working on it tonight. It may not come out tomorrow because we spent so much time in here wasting time. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, tomorrow I should have a video out. If not, it'll be out on Friday, and then the Godless Engineer and me have a video coming out on Saturday with a live debunk of an atheist video called "I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist," whatever the fuck that means. But we're gonna test our faith in that video, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Before we go, I'm just gonna read out the super chats. So you guys bear with me 1 sec. I'll get them up. It's been fun. Thank you guys for coming on the panel and roasting Anthony Riley. Sleeping Warrior Week is definitely not over. I'm going to tomorrow is the top 10 the dumbest things Anthony Riley's ever said. Then we have my debate round 2 with Anthony Riley on Friday. I'm still going to release the other 2 episodes of Bob's breakdown of my first debate, and on Saturday we're going to do some other kind of live debunk. But for now, let's just read out the few super chats that we've had. YouTube's being slow, so bear with me. Oh man, there is 900 comments in my spam.
Wow. How many of them are from Anthony Riley?
Probably a lot. Okay, 20 Nokias from Gunner. No message, thank you. $10 from Tig Logan 16 DFOTY. Yeah, Anthony Riley. I still think he's going to win. I know JM Truth's been trying hard, team, but I reckon Riley. It's his year. It's got to be. Jim D, $5. The dinger is dead like the Cowboys' hopes this season. That's a sport thing, I guess. I don't know. $4.99 US dollars from Lauren. I'm sorry if I ruined this name. Tacticos. Okay, I'm sorry if I wrote that. Professor Dave ripped Globebusters apart over their attribution of everything to electromagnetism. Flirfing magic is what I call it. Yeah, Professor Dave did rip Globebusters, new one. £2 from Peter Hockley, thank you. $1.99 from Stephen Steen. Douchey Cats, Team Stupid, and the rest all in one place. €2 from the Snark, Stephen Sting, ding. $5 from Wessick. Flerfs gravitate towards each other at 9.8 YouTube videos per month squared. They just prove stupidity is a force. $1 from Fart Rhino. Let me just check any more come in. And Stephen Steen put a penis for $1.99. Thank you. It's been a good stream, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Yep.
One thing I just wanted to say quickly is I forgot to mention this, but density. Anthony Riley has proven that density is a force because it has forced him to do a whole lot of stuff, hasn't it?
Oh, a whole lot of stupid stuff. There's someone in the chat that's just saying that they had a question. I'm just going to see if I can respond to that. Kaina X122. If you just want to put your question in there, I'll try and answer it for you. Let's just see if that comes up. Nope, I can't see it. Right, I'll get to your question next time if you're not able to put it in there. But that's it for tonight, guys. Remember that there is still more to come for Sleeping Warrior week. Make sure you subscribe to everyone that's been on tonight. And remember that stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. And we should be gone.
All right. Hey, I got to get going. I got to take care of something pretty important.
All right, bud. I'll speak to you later.